Russia's space weapon anti-satellite systems are indiscriminate, posing a risk to everyone's spacecraft. Tafid Townley on Conversation reports. In a week where national security has taken center stage in Washington, the White House confirmed on Thursday that it had evidence that Russia was developing a space-based nuclear anti-satellite system. John Kirby, the National Security Council spokesman, informed reporters that the White House believed Russia programmed to be troubling despite no immediate threat to anyone's safety. The problem is that depending on what type of weapon this is, the consequences of using it could be indiscriminate, threatening everyone's satellites and causing a breakdown of the vital services that come from space infrastructure. The White House revelations come after House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner urged the administration late on Wednesday to declassify information concerning what he called a serious national security threat. There were then several days of comments and speculation about Russia either being ready to launch a nuclear weapon into space or deploying an anti-satellite weapon powered by nuclear energy. Kirby did not fully outline the nature of the threat, but he added that officials believed the weapon system was not an active capability, quote-unquote, and had not been deployed. To reassure those listening, Kirby said that the weapon was not one that could be used to cause physical destruction on Earth, but that the White House was monitoring Russian activity and would continue to take it very seriously. During a visit to Albania on Thursday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken confirmed the news and stated that he expected to have more to say soon, adding that the Biden administration was also conferring with aliens and partners on the issue. While discussing the matter with an Indian Foreign Minister Jai Shankar and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi at the Munich Security Conference, Blinken is reported to have emphasized that the pursuit of this capability should be a matter of concern. Denials from Russia. Moscow immediately denied the existence of such a program and stated that it was a malicious fabrication created by the Biden administration to pressurize Congress into passing the $97 billion foreign aid bill, $60 billion of which was destined for Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters, "It's obvious that the White House is trying to, by hook or crook, to encourage Congress to vote on a bill to allocate money, and this is obvious." At a press conference on the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, Joe Biden stated that there was no nuclear threat to the people of America or anywhere else in the world with what Russia is doing at the moment. This is according to what Biden said. The president added that there was no evidence that they have made a decision to go forward with doing anything in space either. If Moscow did decide to go ahead with the program, it would be contrary to the Outer Space Treaty, which 130 countries have signed into, including Russia. The treaty prohibits nuclear weapons or any other kinds of weapons of mass destruction in orbit or stationing weapons in outer space in any other matter. Anti-satellite weapons are nothing new. China launched a weapon to destroy a non-operating weather satellite in January 2007. While the temptation to launch a nuclear strike in space may seem alluring to nations looking to challenge U.S. dominance in the domain, such actions could come at a huge risk, and it's not necessarily the destruction of objects in space from Earth that would be the primary concern when it comes to anti-satellite weapons more generally, but the effect they have in space. Mass of debris. The destruction of any celestial object creates a mass of debris varying in size from a few millimeters to several centimeters. Currently, there are hundreds of millions of tracking pieces of space debris orbiting the Earth. Hundreds of millions. The speed at which this space debris is traveling makes it a major hazard to other satellites and entities in space, such as the International Space Station, the ISS, which has to change course in order to avoid collisions which can cause widespread damage. The ISS has had to change course 32 times since 1999. Once the debris is created, it's almost impossible to control the trajectory after the strike or the orbital pattern it will take around the Earth. This can put a nation's space assets, such as its satellites, at the same risk of destruction as that of an adversary. This situation has been described in similar terms to that applied to nuclear weapons on Earth in terms of mutually assured destruction. If a nuclear strike were to be conducted by a nation in space with the intention of destroying satellites and also to demonstrate both the ability and willingness to use nuclear weapons more generally, it would be next to impossible to control the consequences of such an action. It would be fairly certain that such a strike would have the intended effect in reducing the space capability of an opponent. For example, an attack on U.S. assets could disable the satellite-based Global Positioning System, the GPS, that is relied on by Western nations. There is, however, a very real possibility that it would also destroy the space assets of the nation behind the attack, as well as allies and friends of that same nation. And this could lead to tensions between being raised and lead to a loss of that country's support. The inability to control the effects of attacks in space, whether they originate from a weapon in space or on Earth, makes such actions subject to a great degree of consideration and debate in all nations that are active in the space domain. And this is from the conversation here on phys.org by Matthew Powell and David Townley. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.